to the Songwriter Circle. My name is Lisa Hanson, and I'm going to be your host, or I am your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for watching and for the various comments that I've received. I know that you are enjoying the show just as much as I am. All the guests that have been on so far have really blessed me. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure you have as well. Well, today's artist hails from Dover, Delaware. Actually, it's Dover, Delaware via Newcastle, Delaware, because he recently relocated. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him before I tell you who he is. And let's see. He is a singer-songwriter and the founder of the Kenneth Lumpkin's MOP. And MOP stands for Ministers of Praise. This is a contemporary Christian group, and it's comprised of skilled and anointed worshipers. Wherever he goes, his desire is to fill the atmosphere with worship so that the Heavenly Father can be glorified and hearts can be healed and lives can be changed. Kenneth Lumpkin is the 2014 Music Love Award winner. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And he was the, 2014 Music Love Award winning psalmist and male vocalist of the year.
Yes, ma'am.
So I want to make sure I put both of them out
Absolutely.
there. Okay. There's a couple of awards that you won. And actually there's even more of those.
Yes.
So we'll talk about those a little bit more later. He has also appeared on the Bobby Jones Showcase, which aired on the Impact Network. And he has opened for artists such as Jessica Reedy at Warm Daddies here in Philadelphia. And he's also opened for Ernest Pugh in West Morgan for an event that was here at, what's the name of that
World
place?
Cafe.
The World Cafe here in Wilmington, Delaware. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Kenneth Lumpkin. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. I'm glad to have you. Man, we have a lot to talk about.
Let's talk.
Okay. So first of all, you're from Newcastle.
Born and raised in Newcastle, Delaware. That's my home spot.
Yeah. When I looked and we were talking and I read Dover, I'm like, Dover, Delaware. And in our conversation, you said Newcastle, Simon's Gardens area.
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of family over there.
Absolutely.
And that area is such a tight-knit group.
Yes, they are.
You know,
They are.
it's a really tight-knit community. So, you know, I'm sure, you know, everyone watching may remember you, so you can say hello.
Oh, yeah, they will. They'll know. They'll know.
Well, again, thank you so much for joining the show. I would like to learn a little bit more about you. Okay, so when did you first start singing?
Well, I first started singing at the age of 8 years old. Taught by my father, Rudolph Lumpkin, who was a great songstress himself. He taught me how to listen, how to hear, how to do certain things, and I knew it was destiny from the first note that I ever sang. And it's never stopped from that age of 8.
Wow. So do you read music as well?
I don't read, everything's by ear.
Okay,
Yeah, I play bass, 35, 40 years going on playing bass, and everything that I conduct, produce, compose is from bass lines, and I have anointed musicians that surround me with that to help me complete the songs.
So you started singing at 8, your father taught you. Was this along with your family?
Yeah, I have a bunch of brothers and sisters who are just as anointed, great singers. He taught us all how to sing, how to harmonize, and see, back at that time, we didn't use music. We sung a cappella. So that developed our ears, our hearing, things of that nature, which makes it easier now to teach
really
and do what I do now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And do they play as well?
I have a younger brother, Gary, who actually was on the same stage some years back when he ran, well, not Gary, I'm talking about my son now, my son. But Gary is a drummer and a keyboard player.
Okay.
And a very good one. He lives in Cincinnati, Ohio right now.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, that's awesome, because a lot of artists that I've spoken to on this show, a lot of them, their gifts, you know, were developed from something that was sown into them from their parents, you know, whether it's singing, whether it's playing an instrument. So as songwriters, that's kind of key, you know.
That's right.
And it also helps us to understand how that keen ear is birthed you know, and the understanding of melodies and
Yeah.
what works and what doesn't work.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
So you started singing at the age of 8. So when did you start writing?
I started writing right around the age of 15.
Really?
I can remember writing. I can remember writing my first song. It was called Prayer," and I remember writing it and teaching it to the choir of the church I was going to at the time. And right then is when I really knew that I had to get to writing songs. And I've written over 100 songs from that time till now. And God's really graced me to get better. He's gracing me to hear better, and gracing me to put lyrics together and sounds together, and actually hear sounds that go with the lyrics. That's a little unique in terms of gifts that come together. But I'm excited that I have that gift, and I take no credit for it.
And you know, it's awesome because, you know, in the industry, you know, producers are always looking. It's always better for them when they have someone that is a singer,
Yes.
songwriter, you know what I mean, producer. It
Yes.
saves just a lot of work for them
Yes.
if they can have all of that in one package.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so that's great. So when did you start putting together your group? Now, I'm sure you've had groups before MOP, right?
Yes. I actually put, my group has been in existence for about 25 years.
MOP?
Yes.
Wow.
But back then at the beginning, at the foundation, it was called Ever Present Ministries.
Okay.
And I gave it the name a few years later of MOP.
Okay.
And it's grown from that infancy stage about 25 years ago to the place it's at now. And there's been singers that have come and gone. I still have singers with me today that were with me back 25 years ago.
Wow. Yes. You know, I was going to ask you about that because, you know, dynamics of a group, you know, is always changing, you know, and to hear that you have people that are still with you today since its inception, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've learned that when you have a vision, that there'll be people that'll latch on to it, because it takes people, there's great people to surround you to help that vision be birthed to go forth.
Right.
And I was graced to have some real great people to stick with me and see it through. And there's people that have come, installed some things, and moved on. And that's all part of the vision too. People will come, they'll plant, they'll pour in, and they'll go. But there's some that'll stay and see the vision forth, and I have a few of those that have done that.
Right, right. So how many albums have you produced out of your group?
I produced a project called New Day, a single called Something About Your Awesomeness, and then this EP coming up that we just put out recently called Free Yourself. Okay.
So who inspired your sound?
Fred Hammond.
Really?
Fred Hammond inspired my sound. I listen to Fred. Fred's like my mentor. I don't mimic Fred. I don't try to do like Fred, but Fred really gave me the idea of, when I hear Fred write, you know, his direction towards God and towards worship and towards deliverance and towards different things inspired me to take that direction. And he really, I used to sit down in front of the TV and watch his videos and just sit for hours, listen to him. And then also Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp, and that whole commission group, all of them went out and did solo things.
Right.
And I took a little bit of all their stuff, and they really inspired me to find my own identity and find something that was different.
Right.
I didn't mimic their sound, but they pushed me to find my own sound as opposed to what God had me do. Right. And that's what I did, and they were very inspiring to me.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, let's just pause for a second because, you know, Fred Hammond, that's my boy.
Yeah, well, that's
I love Fred.
Absolutely.
I mean, I tell you, he could sing anything.
Yes.
You know, and it ministers.
Yes.
He can sing Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, so that is awesome because, you know, the thing that you said, I was so surprised when you mentioned them because you do have a very unique sound, okay? And it doesn't sound like Fred, it doesn't sound like any of them, but that's also good because as an artist, you have to find your own identity.
Absolutely.
And you have to be true to yourself, you know what I mean? And the gift that God called you to, or the gift that God has given you, okay?
Yes.
And that uniqueness is what God could use.
Absolutely.
You know, the last artist that was here, we were talking about people that were busy trying to copy and imitate you know, everyone else, as opposed to, you know, being their own unique self, you know.
Yes.
And that's key.
Absolutely.
You know.
It's really key. I mean, over the years, I can remember leaving church on a Sunday and going to a friend's house or going to my praise team's house, and I always carried around a briefcase. You'll hear some of my members talk about this. I had a brown briefcase where I would carry to the house after Sunday morning service, and nobody would ever see me, but I would just be in a corner just writing songs, hearing sounds, putting bass lines together. And I just pretty much just like spend time with God, and I combined the sounds that I was hearing along with the lyrics that I was hearing. And God has just gave me the ability to just put sounds and lyrics together that complement each other.
Wow, that is awesome. You know, one of the things that I need to go back to something. You were talking about the Love Awards. I think it's awesome that, you know, you were recognized, and I only mentioned 2 awards, and I believe you received more awards from them, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, and in 2015, I believe.
Yes.
How did you find out? Now, I know the Love Awards is created by, is it Angelic Records?
Yes.
And they're in Arkansas.
Yes.
Right? How did you find out about them?
Well, through Facebook. I saw the label Angelica Records, and I actually reached out to find out what it all entailed, how to get involved, because at that time I was looking for a label to support me. And I found a young lady named Frances Johns, who's the CEO of Angelica Records. And I began to talk to her, and she invited us to be a part of that label, which sponsored the MLAs, which is the Music Love Awards. And from that time on, she just went ranting and raving about how unique the sound was, and she wanted to get that sound on her stage for that platform of the MLAs. And that's how I became to know about the MLAs and become part of that venture.
Yeah, and when I was trying to do my research on you, I came across it and took a look. And one of the things that I noticed is that she recognizes independent artists, indie artists, you know, those that are not signed to labels or things of that nature. And every year she has an award, a contest. You can nominate various people. And it's not only singers. I think it was producers, rappers,
but comedians, mimers, all kind, in every avenue.
It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. So, you know, I was grateful to learn about that because, you know, there's a lot of artists that come through, you know, and all it takes is one opportunity.
That's right.
You know, and that opportunity could change their lives forever. And even moving outside of Delaware, you know, and having other people to learn of you and of your, you know, expanding your territory. How about that? Expanding your territory, you know, that goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
You know, and how has that blessed you?
It blessed me in the fact that it has given me the opportunity to meet new people. It expanded me. It stretched me more to reach different other areas, different other kinds of people. It gave me the opportunity to see the needs of other people. You know, when you're stuck in a region where you're just complacent and you're just stagnant, it doesn't give you the ability to open up and broaden what you can see. But being able to move around and be at different places, I was able to just see more, do more, see what else was needed in the area. It also enhanced my writing ability to write for the need. And that's one thing that I've discovered in songwriting. You know, you write for the need of people. If you really think about the things you go through, the people are the same thing that everybody goes through on a daily basis. So even writing worship that speaks to the heart of people, that can deliver, that can heal, can make free, and those things. So
wait, worship that speaks to the heart of God, which then comes down and delivers.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, so something that you said, one of the things I want to talk about, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. So you mentioned about being stuck in your area, okay? And a lot of artists find that they're stuck, you know, in their area. But sometimes your area is the first area that we have to saturate, you know what I mean, our area. Build relationships in our area, and get our name out there within our community, you know what I mean, before we can branch out. Now,
Yes.
you know, you've done that, and now you're moving out, you're traveling all over, you've been to various venues, and one of which you're going to is, I don't know what she's calling it, but during the Dove Award weekend, you're going to a showcase.
Yes.
Dove Awards are going to be hosted where this year?
And Nashville, Tennessee.
In Nashville, yeah. Of course. That's just so obvious,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
So you are traveling to Nashville to be a part of a showcase there.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I'm really excited. You know, the years spent in my pastor George Hilton years back taught me that preparation is not lost time, and keeping that has totally changed my life. Keeping that to the forefront of my life lets me know that as I prepare, that it prepared me for a time such as this. So now, when I do things like what I'm doing right now and preparing to go to the showcase in Nashville, I'm totally excited. I'm not overwhelmed because it's part of my destiny. It's what I'm supposed to be doing. It's my work. So to do this is not work to me, but it's a destiny fulfilling portion that says, go do what I told you to do, son. And that's what I'm doing. I'm really excited about it.
Well, I am excited about it for you.
Amen.
I know that one of the promoters of this event is Lachelle Crump, and she is big on Facebook, you know, and she's awesome as far as sharing information for independent artists, you know. And one of the things that she has record producers, she has promoters, she has marketing teams, various companies that come out, you know. They want to come out, you know, because she's doing such a great work to come out and to hear other artists, to network, and to meet people, and to be a resource, you know. That's invaluable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you have to take time, and we talked about, you know, budgeting, you know what I mean, and planning for things like that.
Yes.
Because things like that don't just happen. You know, you have to plan for them.
Absolutely,
You
yes.
know. So let's talk about you planning for this event.
Okay.
All right. So you're going to Nashville. All right. What are you taking with you?
I'm taking things that are necessary to give to people that are there that can help us. Taking a press kit. I'm taking some business cards, things of that nature, things that these producers and promoters can see what we're doing, and I'm going to make sure that they're eye-catching, and make sure that they do what they say they're supposed to do with giving the proper information so that people can in contact with us and meet with us.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
So yes, you're making your press kit. Okay, you're making your business cards. You know, and I think another key is your team that's going with you. Okay, all the information that you have about your group. You know, everyone can't do the job on their own.
Right.
It's going to take everybody working together as a unit to make this happen. You know, going out to, you know, dividing and
Yes.
conquering, basically. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And building those relationships.
Yes.
You know, and also understanding that when you meet them, it's not always just pushing your stuff. You know, because everybody's going to be pushing their stuff. You know, but the key is to building memorable relationships, or making a memorable contact. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe you see something, someone said something, right?
Yes.
And it really blessed you, you know, and you making a comment about that.
Yes.
Or, you know, oh man, it seems kind of silly, but you know, I got a purple suit some purple shoes that look nice with that suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we from Delaware, and you know, making conversation. You know what I mean? Because something that's going to stand out.
Yes.
You know, when you make a resume, you know, everyone has resumes, but it has to be something about you or something about your group that's going to make them remember who you are. So that's something I would like to encourage you.
Okay.
You know, when thinking about, and when you're talking to your team, you know, strategizing, you know, but you have to have a strategy. You
Yes.
can't just show up. So when you have your strategy, you know, this is how we're going to do. You know, you're going to head this way. You know, you make as many contacts as possible, and make them memorable.
Okay.
You know, so are you taking any chotskis?
Yeah, I'm going to take some tchotchkes. I think they're necessary. We're going to take them and pass them out, and just me. It's going to be basically me and my assistant. We haven't commit anybody else that's going to be able to go yet.
Okay.
From MOP. But me and my assistant, Lurleen Black, she's great at everything you're talking about. She's a great business person, great with people, and I guarantee when I go back and share with her, she's going to be all over this.
Well, I wish she was here. I would love to meet her. I know you guys are going to make a great impact.
Yes.
You know, when you go there. And the only other thing I would probably encourage you to do is to make sure you follow up.
Okay.
You know, and not just once.
Okay.
You know, once you start building relationship, like their Facebook page. You know, check in every once in a while. You know, to see how they're doing or whatever, and you know, inviting them to like your page as well.
Yes.
You know, so. What is it that you would like to share with other artists? You know, if you had something that you would like to leave with artists about ministry, about songwriting. You know, you have a young, eager songwriter, and they want to be where you are. They saw you at the World Cafe, and they're like, that Kenneth Lumpkin, yeah, he's the man. You know, I want to be like him. What would you say to that aspiring artist?
I would say this. I would say that you heard me say earlier that preparation is not lost time. Be patient in your preparation. You know, as you prepare, stay consistent with it. Don't get weary in well doing. For you will reap reward if you don't faint or lose heart or give up. You got to stay the course, because keep in mind that there's an expected end. There's a destiny in your songwriting, in your singing, in your artistry. But you can't lose heart and getting sidetracked. The Bible talks about staying on the path. All right, stay on the path. Don't look left or right. Don't deviate from the course, because God is right there. God created that course for you, and then He came back to help you see it through. Hear God in this. Don't faint. In my 25 years of pressing, there's been times I could have fainted, but I didn't. Why? Because the excitement of what I'm called to do was at the forefront. If you're called to do it and you know it's your work, you won't get weary, you'll press. Distractions will always come, but don't be moved by the distractions. Just stay the course, and God has your back.
And that's good. And you know, one of the things that you mentioned about sometimes you do get weary in it, you know, but when you go back and you remember that this is what you've been called to do, or someone asks you, all of a sudden that excitement comes back up in you again. You know, it's like, okay, we can do this. You know, I can do this. I can do this, because it's a passion. It's something that's in you. It's something that God has put in you as a gift. You know what I mean? And those things just don't die.
Absolutely.
You know, we might get distracted, but they don't die.
Yeah. You know, another area in terms of songwriting. Those of you that are songwriters or just beginning to songwrite, keep in mind, when you write a song, make sure, we always, there's a saying that talks about fruit. Keep in mind, the fruit, which is your gift, is not for you. It's for everyone else that is partaking of it. So when you write a song, you must make sure that song can be applicable to the person listening. Okay, make sure it appeases the ear of the flesh as well as the ear of the spirit. Okay, now in your songwriting, make sure that anyone that sings your material can make it their song. Okay, if they make it their song, it can do what it does, it can minister properly. Okay, and that's in the area of worship, in the area of praise, in the area of deliverance, in the area of inspiration. Anything you write, make sure that song, that ear can make it their song, so it blesses the right way.
You know, that's good, because you know, I was talking to another artist, and we were talking about those songs that stick with you. You know, when you sing a song and you hear it, you know, and you're walking down the street, and all of a sudden it comes back in your spirit, and you're singing it. You know, that song stuck with you.
Absolutely.
It's ministering to your spirit. You know what I mean? And that is the key to a great songwriter.
That's right.
You know, when you can create something that is going to have a lasting impression, you know, that is going to, you know, make a deposit into someone's spirit, and then later on grow. You know, and somebody else, you know, Kenneth Lumpkin might come with another song, and it waters the other song. You know, and before you realize it, all these songs are bearing fruit. You know, bringing people out of oppression and depression. You know, or just changing your mood. You know, as songwriters, we have a very powerful gift.
Yes, we do.
We really do, and we see that now in the industry. You know, You know, either music can make you happy or it can make you sad.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It can make you oppressed or it can make you depressed.
That's right.
You know? So we have a powerful gift and we do not take that for granted.
Absolutely.
What I would like to do at this time is I would like to share with the audience a little bit about your gift. You know, I would like to give them an opportunity to hear your song and the gift that God has given you. And actually, this song is probably going to take us out for the evening. We're going to play it all the way out. So before we go, I would like to thank you so much for being a part of the Songwriter Circle. You know, I would like to also welcome you to come back again and to bring your group so that we can do a live performance so they can hear you and your ministry, okay?
Absolutely, I'd love to.
Okay, awesome. And the song that we're going to hear today is?
Free Yourself.
Free Yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for watching the Songwriter Circle, and taking us out tonight or today would be Mr. Kenneth Lumpkin, presenting Free Yourself. Listen and be blessed.
Kick those shackles off, loose those chains, and be free in your praise. Come on, get in this praise thing right here. We've been created to praise. Let's give God praise. 3-part, come on. Free. Sound real good. Let's give God praise. Glory to God. Come on. We've been created to praise. Praise Him, somebody. Let's give God praise. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here to praise Him. I'm here to praise Him. I'm here. I'm here to praise Him. Praise His name. Praise His name. I'm here to praise Him. I'm here to praise Him. Come on, say. I'm here to praise Him. Praise His name. Praise His name. Make it personal. Sing it for yourself. I'm gonna free myself. I gotta give God praise. Yes, Lord. I've been created to praise. I've gotta give Him. I gotta give God the praise. Hey, yeah. I'm gonna free myself. Hey. I gotta give God the praise. I've been created. I've been created to praise. Yeah. I gotta give God the praise. I'm here to praise Him. I'm here to praise Him. Yes, I am. To praise Him. Give Him the praise. To praise Him. Praise His name. Give Him glory.